Alright, we'll see if this works again. If it cuts out again, I'm not even going to bother trying to reconnect. What's up, Llama Lloyd? Good to see you. Appreciate those of you that stuck around. Sorry, yeah, my internet just randomly cuts out when it gets windy sometimes, so my bad. Had to reset everything and hope for the best. But like I said, if it cuts off again, we'll just go ahead and call the stream. The wind was kind of the reason I wasn't going to do it anyways, but then I was like, well, shit, I already told everyone I'd try, so I should at least try. Thank you, Food for Thought. You too. You too. Hello, Jasmine and Peter, Twix, Justin. Good to see you again. When's the turkey ready? The turkey's still got a while. Still got a while. You can see the smoke still coming out, and probably. I don't think I got enough wood, so I'm probably gonna smoke it for like another hour. I think that's about how much wood I have left, maybe. And then I'm just gonna probably finish it in the oven, make the house smell good. Oh goddamn! Dreadful D, thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving to you. I really do appreciate that. I'm glad you're able to come hang out for a little bit and go through the festivities of my internet cutting out. Yes. Thanks again. I really do appreciate you. What's up, Peck? I didn't get to say hello over the mic last time, but hello. Hello, Ember, Commando, Blackstar. Glad you're still here. Gil, hell yeah. Smoking a good old turkey. I'm using apple wood. I should have grabbed a couple bags of it, but I didn't. I forgot how much it takes because it's been like 3 or 4 years. I think last time I used the grill, I did a whole bunch of steaks. Jasmine says, I'm eating chicken soup for turkey, so I'm vicariously living through you right now. Oh, well, I'll have plenty of turkey. Last time I did this, like I said, it's just my wife and me, so we ended up giving a whole bunch to her coworkers and stuff like that, too, so. How good is it? Oh man, it's amazing, but I was very sad when I pulled out the turkey to brine it. I noticed that the skin was ripped off the breast. I know, gory, but I'm kind of nervous how that's gonna be because the skin usually helps hold everything in. Hopefully the brine, still did its thing, but yeah, I'm kind of sad about that because the first time everything turned out like perfect. How long have I had this smoker? Probably like 4 years. 4 years, something like that. How big's my turkey? Yeah, giggity. Wouldn't you like to know? It's about, I don't know, 16 to 20 pounds. Amber says I made candy yams and mac and cheese. Oh, that sounds yummy. Depending on if it's real cheese, mac and cheese. My wife's doing the candy yam thing. She called it like a, what was it? Maybe it wasn't candy yam. No, not candy yam. We're sweet potato. We're doing sweet potatoes. That's right. Yeah. Killer Creation. So to be honest, I could smell it from here. Man, I wish I could smell more smoked turkeys around here. I don't think too many people take the time to do it. Peck says no Thanksgiving here, but I'm gonna do turkey for Christmas. Crikey! Yeah, definitely just a U.S. holiday. Is it Thanksgiving today or tomorrow? Today is Thanksgiving. What's up, McLean? Hello, Lindsay. How do you smoke a turkey? It starts with a brine. You can do a brine for like 3 days, 2 days, 1 day, whatever. And that essentially helps it keep its juiciness when it's getting... A lot of people will brine it even before they oven roast turkey too. But after you get the brine, you pretty much just get your offset smoker going real good. Make sure the temperature's around 250 or so. Get your smoke going, and then take the turkey out of the brine, rinse it off, pat it down with a paper towel. And then usually I'll do like an hour and a half with the turkey upside down, and then I'll flip it over. This time I didn't do that because the breast skin is ripped, so I'm afraid of putting it upside down and then just having juices leak out. So yeah, and then you just maintain the temperature and smoke and whatnot. And once you learn how to use the vents, it's actually really easy. That's why you see me pop back over as I'm checking the temperature. So I don't know why there's 2 streams. I can't even see if there's a stream on my channel, so sorry. How long does it take? It depends on the turkey size. Like, this one's probably gonna take like 5 to 7 hours, but I'm gonna have to finish it off in the oven. But it usually goes up by weight. Justin's like, I'll gobble your maker's turkey. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Susan. Thank you so much for dropping in. Yeah, there was 2 streams because my internet cuts out. It's windy. I'm sure you hear the wind in the back. I'm on my back porch. So the stream cut out and then it just kind of started its own. I don't even see a stream at all on my channel. So my favorite 2019 movie. I don't know if I had any favorites from 2019. They all sucked. It's a good question. I can't think of one. You gonna have mustard with your biscuits and French fried taters? I don't think we're having any potatoes. I don't think so. Might do mashed, I'm not sure. We're gonna have more than enough anyways, so not really a big deal. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Jessen. Hope you and the family are doing well. Much love to you all, and I hope everyone there is having a happy Thanksgiving. I'm not into like Joker and Batman and all that, so I don't even watch Joker. Not my thing. Oh. Did I watch Parasite? No, not unless that was that one with like the computer chip that could like. That was actually a good movie. The one with the computer chip that took over the dude's body, made him like a fucking ninja, and then at the end just trapped him in his own mind. That was a good movie. If that was from 2019, I don't remember what that was, what it was called, but that I really enjoyed that. Happy Thanksgiving, Nick. Thank you. Turkey cam. I can't do that. Funny thing, my wife had a cook-in thermometer, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna just keep this in the turkey. Yeah, that doesn't work. I checked on it, and it smokes the stuff too. So we ended up having to throw that thermometer away because it was nice and brown. So I'm not putting my camera in there because I already know what's gonna happen. Endgame, what was that? Endgame, that sounds familiar, like it was something I watched. Oh, Avengers Endgame. I'm not into any superhero movies. I did go watch it in theaters because I had friends go on, and the missus and I just needed to get out of the house, so we showed up like a half hour late to the movie. I didn't even know they had beer there, so I just got a beer and then sat in there, and yeah, it was interesting. Not my kind of movie, but got us out of the house, so that was nice. Do I watch Toonami short episodes? I've never even heard of the show. So, yeah, no. Unknown Neves, happy Thanksgiving to you as well. Thank you. Yeah, I saw It, Chapter 2. I didn't fall asleep during that one. It was alright. I mean, it's kind of like a repeat, so not really much different they did. I watched quite a few movies recently, but I just went on a binge, and my wife and I just sat there and watched a whole bunch of movies back to back to back. I don't remember what they were. A lot of the newer movies, just like not Joker. I watched Gemini Man. That was one that we watched. Yeah, interesting concept. The CGI was just atrocious. So Jada. That's funny. Are you gonna share this with us? Virtually, I guess, if you can like eat it through a screen. Alright, I'm gonna play that story real quick that I was trying to play before my internet cut out. And if my internet cuts out again, I'm sorry, and that'll be the end of the stream. But let's listen to the story so I can get some more smoke in there. Oh, I forgot to change the settings. I'm an idiot. Hello, Rainy Day. Good to see ya. I hope you're having a happy Thanksgiving. My bad, peeps. I just got back over here and I was looking and I was like, oh shit, I didn't switch the speakers over. Alright, let's try this again. Yes. For like the 15th millionth time. I thought I would share something with you that happened to me 4 years ago now that sits heavy on my conscience. I am happy to say that most people in this country go their entire lives without encountering some of the monsters that exist in this otherwise beautiful place. Unfortunately, I haven't been so fortunate. Before I start, I would like to bore you with some backstory. I have been working as an IT systems administrator for a few years now, and have met many people who I occasionally moonlight as a repairwoman for. And yes, I do pay tax. Over the years, friends and I occasionally get messages and phone calls from strangers asking for basic computer repairs for cheaper than they could otherwise find locally.
What's up, Gothic?
For years, I have been overly cautious of people, places, and objects that don't feel right. I have learned to always trust my gut and to err on the side of caution. This story, however, is the one and only time that I ignored that instinct. Around 4 years ago, I was contacted over text message by a local man. He was direct and straight to the point. The conversation was pretty basic. He asked me if I could look at his computer as he had heard about me from a friend. I said yes, and he explained the issue he was having. The PC had suddenly stopped booting.
Good night, Commando.
Occasionally he could manage to get it running, but it would operate incredibly slow and crash quickly. I told the man that I would need to inspect the PC myself. However, it sounded like a textbook hard drive failure. I asked the unknown man to call me to discuss an option and when he could bring the PC for me to look at. His response was, "No phone calls. Where can I drop it off and when? I need the things off it as soon as possible." This seemed sketchy to me at first. Most people like to talk over the phone about the issues they are having and try to sort them out remotely, and at the very least know how much it was going to cost. I eventually brushed it off, thinking maybe he was just well off and was looking for a fast turnaround, which he knows only a hobbyist would be able to achieve in this area. I discussed a time where he could drop the PC off at my work, and asked what time he would like to drop the PC off. He did not reply. The next morning at the door of my work, there was a PC on the ground with a post-it note crudely marked with my name in black felt tip marker. My boss was not super impressed, as our business had quite strict security and members of the public are usually not allowed on the premises after hours. I was ultimately very confused, however. I never got a reply from this man, and as far as I knew, he had done a runner. By now, I am convinced this guy had some sort of anxiety. A refusal to talk on the phone and deliberately dropped off the PC without a word of warning before our business, not a client-based business, this is an official block, even opened its doors to its workers. Again, alarm bells were kind of ringing at this stage. However, there was no reason for me to really worry. It's not as if he seemed on edge or dangerous. Not that I could really tell from the text messages we had sent each other. I proceeded as planned. Ran diagnostic tools, confirmed it was a dead hard drive, removed the drive, replaced it with a repurposed one, reinstalled the OS, and proceeded to start the recovery process. For those of you not informed of the process, here is the basic rundown. Pull the old hard drive, plug it into a working PC either directly or with a dock,
create a virtual clone of the drive and then perform a recovery using specialized software on the clone. Not the actual hard drive, as it may fail during the process. I did this with good results and managed to recover pretty much everything. I copied all his files over to his new drive, reinstalled the applications I could see he had, and sent the computer on its merry way. Later that day, I sent the man a message stating that his computer was fixed and he could pick it up sometime during business hours. He responded a few hours later saying that he was not going to be available until after work. Okay, I thought. That's fair enough, he probably works too. At first, the man asked if he could meet at my house after work the following day, which by this stage was definitely too weird. I obviously declined and insisted on meeting him at a local post office at around 6 p.m.
Thank you, Dreadful.
By this stage, I was kind of getting some pretty bad heebie-jeebies. I decided to have a friend come with me just in case things got weird. I have a male friend at work who was happy to come with. We arrived at the post office a little early and sat on a small bench out front. About 15 minutes passes and the guy finally arrives. By this stage, it's getting pretty dark. Thinking back now, I'm pretty sure he delayed it as much as he could. The man walks up to us slowly in kind of a predatory way, creeping forward as if to make as little noise as possible even though we knew he was there. His gray jeans stained with what looked like white paint, wearing a dark hoodie covering his head. All we could see of his face is the protruding long gray tattered beard. The man stands in front of us while I introduce myself and my friend. The man does not react at all, instead seemingly looking me up and down for what felt like minutes. I could smell his breath from where I was standing, and his silence was only broken by the sound of his nose hairs whistling as he breathed. I eventually try and speak to him about his PC, stating that it was in fact a dead hard drive. However, before I could finish speaking, he interrupts me mid-sentence with a raspy voice. The kind of voice that makes you tingle at the back of your throat. "Is that the computer?" I responded, "Yes." "Did you get everything back?" The man quickly responded in more of a statement rather than a question. "Yes, I told you in the text message." In a quick and angry voice, he then asked me, "Did you go through any of it?" "Of course not." "Are you sure?" At this point, I was getting really weirded out, and my friend could tell I felt threatened. I do not deal well with older men, and he knew it. He swiftly responded with, "Look, man, the computer's fixed and you have your data back. Do you want it or not?" I looked at my friend and then back at the man. He looked me up and down one last time, thrusted some notes into my hand, quickly grabbed the PC, and swiftly but silently walked away to the car park. We got back to the car, and I soon realized the man had paid me $400 for a simple repair. We never discussed the price, as that usually happens in the early discussion or as they return for their computer, but usually this would cost around $150. I was shocked and very happy. My friend was not so happy. Something was off about that man, and now I'm even more convinced. Did you notice how he was so intent on you not going through his data? I agreed. Something weird was going on. Although I'm not supposed to, and doing so is kind of a breach of privacy, my itch to know what he was so paranoid about was strong. The next day at work, having been bugged by my friend, I finally decided to take a look at the contents of the clone drive. I noticed pretty quickly that it was quite large, around 250 gig for what was essentially a Windows install and some basic applications, photos, and a few downloads. It can be tricky to find what's taking up so much space sometimes, but using a tool like Space Sniffer can really help. I booted the program up and quickly found a zip file hidden in the Windows folder under a very long tree of folders. Inside these folders were other empty folders. Some had empty documents in them and others were completely empty. I jumped straight to the zip file and opened it, luckily not password protected. What I found inside makes me sick, even more so given what I have been through in my life. Thousands and thousands of images and videos of children, some suggestive and others more. I opened 3 or 4 photos and immediately felt lightheaded and sick. I quickly closed the zip folder, shocked. Oddly enough, it did not settle until sometime later what I had found. All I was thinking about before that was what would happen if my colleagues saw those images in the building. Little did it occur to me what kind of threat this man was and what now lay on my desk. I told my friend, who told me to call the police ASAP. I did, and was asked not to touch the image further and to come to the station to make a report with my friend. They later confiscated the drive I copied the clone to, and I never got it back. I was told by police a week or so later that the phone number the man had used to send the text messages was a web-based application, and the number was fake. However, they had identified the man thanks to metadata stored on the hard drive clone, and that the man probably did not realize a copy was made of his hard drive in the process of the recovery. They also told me the man was being looked for. However, his last known residency was in a different state. The police believed he was staying somewhere without a lease, with a friend, or simply squatting, and has since skipped town. It has been 4 years now, and I've heard nothing. I am still paranoid he's going to come by my office building again and follow me home.
Pause that for a second. Say what's up. Thank you again, Dreadful D. I really do appreciate that dollar super chat. Thank you. And happy Thanksgiving, Mama Wolf, if y'all still here. I am from Arizona, Mr. Butake. Probably butchered the shit out of that. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody just joining the stream. Yeah, we're smoking a turkey. I got an older video that had only like 19,000 views. It was kind of its own story, so usually those don't do well. So I was playing that since some people probably haven't heard it and all that good stuff. What's up, Cali Kush? Hope you're having a good Thanksgiving. Pete said, smells good. Send a piece, please, to Holland. Happy crazy religious racist holiday or day. Thanks, dude. Yeah, I'll send that in the mail. Might be a little funky by the time it gets there, but I guess we'll see. Oh wait, no, I won't. I gotta put my real name on anything I send to another country. I learned that the hard way during my first giveaway. I was sending a tablet overseas, and they're like, I got a message from them. They're like, hello, blankety blank. I was like, what? And they were like, yeah, you had to put your real name when it goes countries. I was like, oh, well, never again will I send anything out of the country. So, but I appreciate you all joining. Hope everyone's having a happy Thanksgiving. Not sure how much longer we'll do this stream, but we'll at least finish this story. That was a nice little halfway point I stopped it at. Chocolate Poop. Nice name. Happy Gobble Gobble Day. Happy Turk Day to you. Your maker is dead. Sex. No, dude. I'm like a twig. I'm like a scrawny little dude. You guys have low standards.
I have surrounded my house with self-defense items just in case, and my home feels safe. However, work not so much. Like I said earlier, most people go through life without even seeing the scum of society. I have experienced it myself 3 times now, and I am done. Never, ever again.
What's up, Ome? General butt naked.
I'm of the female persuasion and in my 20s. A year or 2 ago, I attended a zombie live-action roleplay. So, to keep it simple, I would NPC for a weekend among a remote campground and chase our players around as a generic zombie for them to fight against. So, while walking back to our NPC camp, I see 2 players approaching. They are chatting in-game, and to avoid disturbing their experience, since I was in between spawns, I took a quick left between the trees to take a shortcut through a wooded area. The trail was narrow, and after a few minutes I get that aura right before an epileptic seizure is about to hit, and I remember my vision tilting some before losing consciousness. 3 hours later, a strange sound rouses me and I wake up on the ground. It takes a little time to regain my senses completely, and at first I thought I was hearing a car's engine off in the distance. But as my hearing catches up, I realize I'm hearing growling only 3 or 4 feet away from me. Or more specifically, it's the type of snarling that dogs make when they're particularly invested in a game of tug-of-war and shaking the toy around. Instead of a toy, however, some small animal is screaming hysterically. So as I'm officially crapping my pants in complete darkness, 2 more coyotes creep closer and start sniffing at my arms before darting away again. When I flinched lightly, one growled at me. Now, it's incredibly rare that these animals will attack people outright, but I'm also very aware that I'm between 4 coyotes who are literally in the middle of hunting, and are now nervous of my presence, which understandably caught them by surprise. I'm now silently ringing off every single curse word in the book and try to slow my breathing and remain calm as they continue the dance of sniffing, jumping back, and growling low on occasion.
Hello, Angelica.
Adrenaline is finally kicking in, so I flex one finger to see how reactive they would be to me moving. They don't seem to notice, so I'm able to wrap my fingers around a small rock, take a breath, and fling the thing right for one's head. Or so I hoped, since again it's pitch black. The coyote I aimed for stumbled around in surprise before taking off, and this alone spooked the other 3, which was enough for everyone to dart away from me. The encounter ends when I haul ass and bolt down the same pathway, stumble onto the woods, and nearly slam into my dad minutes later. Both NPC groups thought I was with the other party, so no one actually noticed I was missing just yet. It probably sounds like I'm being a tad dramatic. I'm aware coyotes rarely attack folk, but to wake up in the woods after dark with animals attacking a few feet away from your head is pretty scary at the time.
Alright, that went the end of that. What's up, Angelica? Happy Turkey Day back at ya. What's up, Mary Trima? Mary Trima? I don't fucking know. The security guard. Hello, your maker. This is such a good idea. I appreciate you sharing your Thanksgiving celebration with us. You might even say, I feel thankful. I appreciate you joining in. Might say, I'm thankful you're here as well. Yeah, already had one disconnect on the stream, and not sure how much longer we'll do this, but I figured it'd be cool. I wanted to do a video for my patrons and members of me brining the thing, but that did not go near as planned. So I did videotape it, so I'll probably chop it up and probably put it up for those guys. But yeah, figured I'd at least do a little stream. I'm got everything set up on my back porch right now, so pretty interesting. I keep watching my mic wobble in the wind, and I'm afraid it's gonna fall over. Oh. And with the wind, it likes to cut the internet out, so 'tis life. But I do appreciate you guys dropping in, spending some time here. Hope everyone's having a happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate the holiday, and if not, I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. What's up, Colorado Phantom? Appreciate you dropping in. Happy Thanksgiving, boxing. Happy Thanksgiving. Yeah. This is an old one. Well, it's creepypastas, but whatever. Smoking a turkey. Sure. What's up, Jewel? Hope you're doing
I am
well.
a 28-year-old female and live in British Columbia, Canada.
I'm a woman from Canada.
I used to think that I was very fortunate to live so close to the forest, and would often take myself out for long walks either to clear my head or to take pictures of the wildlife and scenery. I always felt at peace when I was there, and snapped some really great pictures. On one night in particular, I was having a bit of a rough time. I had just finished a rather stressful shift at a local convenience store where I worked part-time while I was attending college. It wasn't great, but it paid the bills. I headed out at around 6 p.m. and took my camera and flashlight so I wouldn't be completely walking in the dark. and hoped that I could get some nighttime pictures for my college folder. The air was crisp that night, and I could see a cloud leave my mouth with every breath.
Take care.
As it was so cold, I didn't expect anyone to be in the area, especially in the forest. I found this to be very wrong. I entered the forest and took a deep breath. I felt the familiar feeling of peace that I normally got when going into the area. It was like my own separate reality where I could be myself. I turned on my flashlight and continued further in. The hoots of the owls echoed through the trees, and I tried to snap pictures of them as they were perched high up in the trees. It was around this time that I started hearing a low rhythmic chant being called about 15 feet away. I slowly and quietly started walking towards the singing. I moved branches out of the way and crouched as low as I could. I saw 6 cloaked figures standing in a dimly lit circle chanting in some language unknown to me. Their cloaks were dark red in color and covered their feet. I watched as one of them took a baby goat out of the box as the others continued to chant. The goat was then tied down and its throat slit. Another of the cloaked figures then took a cup out of their cloak and filled it with the blood. I sat there watching in absolute disbelief. My eyes wide, my heart pounding as the adrenaline was making my body shake. I tried to hold up my camera to take a picture, but I was quivering like a dog taking a sharp shit. This is literally the best comparison that I can think of right now. I continued to watch as they each took turns drinking the blood and saying some other weird bullshit. As I slowly tried to get up, I heard the snap of a twig beneath my feet. I froze for a moment, but quickly found myself as this was not the time to pussy around. The adrenaline kicked in. I somehow found it in me to quickly take a picture of the figures, then bolted out of there. I kept looking back to see if I was being followed. And to my surprise, I wasn't. I guess because their faces were covered, they thought they had nothing to worry about. I made it home as quickly as I could. I actually got home so fast that I can't remember how I did. I slammed and locked my door and called the cops. They took my camera as evidence, although I got it back once they uploaded the picture to their computer for observation. I didn't ever hear anything else regarding the creepy cult in the forest.
I'm thankful you found my channel too, El Mary. Welcome back, Lizzie. I appreciate everyone dropping in. Thank you, LA. Appreciate that, Clover.
I live on a rural property in western New South Wales, Australia. The year is 1996. I have hectares of rugged bushland to myself, with a couple of those hectares reserved as pasture for my cattle. This also means I'm miles away from any human contact or civilization. The only communication being the landline on my wall. But I like it that way, away from all the noise and light pollution of the cities. I at least have my 2 dogs for company, a Kelpie named Roxy and a Border Collie named Cruiser. They keep me company. I mean, they're sort of pointless as guard dogs. There's not a soul for miles out here. Well, no one has any business out here anyway. So my usual routine consists of waking up at the crack of dawn, then tending to the cattle and other errands around the farm until sundown, where I retire to my armchair in front of the fireplace, read my favorite book with a cup of tea, as always accompanied by my dogs. Cruiser lays in front of the fire and Roxy stares out the window into the pitch-black night. I pass this off as nothing, probably just an animal or something outside. She'll occasionally bark and I'll just tell her to be quiet. Business as usual. Except one morning I go out to check on my cattle and one is missing. I look around for it and one of the dogs, the dog named Roxy, she leads me to the lost cattle. It was in a scrub, its guts viciously torn out and hanging from the branches, like tinsel on a Christmas tree. I'm initially shocked, but just assume a pack of wild dogs got to it. They're commoner on these parts. Anyway, this happens periodically over the next few weeks, but starts getting worse, along with Roxy's nightmare barks. She has a new edge and viciousness to her tone, and sometimes I could come back to the homestead after tending the pastures and things would be misplaced. It was only minor stuff, such as a chair slightly moved or a doormat out of place, but still noticeable. And one night I came home late and there were hot embers in the fireplace. I hadn't lit that fire since the previous night 22 hours ago, and Roxy started clawing at the windows and nothing would stop her. One night I thought I saw something or someone lurking around the house at night. Red flags were going off at this point. I started sleeping with my rifle and my dogs at the foot of my bed. One night a bit after 2:30 a.m., just as I was falling asleep after a tiring day's work, a thunderous bang echoed through the house, bouncing off the wooden floors and walls and tin roof. It sounded like something kicking the fly screen door in. Roxy immediately bolts off the bed and dashes to the front door, barking like a madman. I jump out of bed and reach for my rifle. Fuck. I must have left it leaning on my armchair. God, I'm such an idiot. I still slowly creep over my creaky floorboards to the front door, and when I turn the corner to the living room, I got the biggest fright of my life. There, standing in front of the fire, a man about 6'7", tattered blood-stained clothing hanging off his skeletal frame, his face illuminated by the dancing fire next to him. His cold, steely gray eyes stared through the thick curtain of greasy, matted hair hanging over his pale complexion and stretching down to his elbows. A half-burned cigarette hanging from his thin smile hidden by his long, scraggly beard the same length as his hair. And in his hands caked with mud and dried blood, his long, dirty fingernails wrapped around my rifle. "I've been watching you." He spoke with a bone-chilling intensity. "What do you want?" I shakily replied. "I'm pretty good with a rifle," he said, ignoring my question. "You hear about that mass shooting 8 years ago? Fuck. Now I've got a mass murderer in my house, and I'm all alone. The dogs run off. Any law enforcement is hours away, and I'm unarmed. I'm at his mercy. I am soaked in a cold sweat, my palms and feet sweating profusely and trembling. He raises the rifle. I feel sick. He cocks the bolt action. My heart is running 100 miles an hour, but so is something else. At that moment, Roxy comes bolting through the front door and immediately latches herself onto the intruder's trigger arm. He lets out a blood-curdling wail of pain as he drops the rifle. I quickly reclaim it. He runs out the door, Roxy still hanging off of him. He runs off into the night, into the rugged bushland surrounds. The dogs still barking after him. I take a moment to slump to the floor. Everything that just happened came as one big wave of realization, still trying to grasp the situation, comprehend the recent events. I eventually gather myself and make a cup of tea. I'm not going back to bed. Fuck that. So I just sat in my armchair and waited. The dogs return the next morning. I decide to have a look around and see if he left anything behind. I find the hatch that leads to under the house that's located under the front window was open. What I found was most shocking. A pile of ratty old blankets, rotten raw cattle meat, other food items from inside the house, a large bloody hatchet and a sawed-off shotgun. He mustn't have brought it with him last night as he saw my rifle in the living room. And the other thing I noticed, the spot that the fucking psycho crawled in and out of the hatch, that's where Roxy was staring every night.
Happy Thanksgiving to those of you that came in and wished it. Appreciate you dropping in. I'm probably actually going to end the stream due to wind and other issues. Well, not issues, but things I gotta take care of as well. But I really do appreciate you guys showing up. And Austin, I did see your comment, man. I'm sorry you had to go through that. Really am. School can be a fucking pain in the ass. I'll tell you what. Chocolate poop, you should grill a Barbie doll. I should if it didn't mess up my grill. That would be pretty funny. Maybe a future idea. Oh, that story is a creepy pasta. So yeah. Both of those two were creepy pastas. So, well, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end this stream. I think I'll open it and do a turkey reveal, and then cut the stream off. So yeah. So there's a turkey reveal. Yes. I will catch everybody later on. I hope everyone has a happy Thanksgiving. Thank you all so much for dropping in, even if you're not celebrating the holiday. I appreciate it. For those of you that missed any, you can just go back and skip backwards. So, yeah. You have a happy Thanksgiving, Pixie. It's good to see you. I don't remember seeing you beforehand. You might have just been lurking. What am I thankful for? I'm thankful for all you guys. Wouldn't be here right now, quite literally, in this house and everything. I'd still be alive. I mean, you guys didn't give me life, but shit. No, I'm thankful for everyone here. And I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Take time with the family, even if you're across the pond. I don't know why we call it the pond when it's an ocean. If you're across the pond. Have a great day, everybody. I'll catch y'all later. And just remember, I'm on meth.
I'm on meth.
I'm on meth.
I'm on it too.
So am I.
So am I.
I'm on meth.
Meth is not someone else's problem. It's everyone in South Dakota's problem. And we need everyone to get on it.
I'm on it.
I'm on it.
I'm on it too.